What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and we're here today to preview the next upcoming pay-per-view premium live event in the professional wrestling world as AEW is taking over, and it's AEW Full Gear this Saturday. As right now, we got 10 matches that will be going down. Obviously, we have Collision. We got the other shows that will happen, so we could have other matches be announced, obviously. I'm sure there'll be 14. I'm sure we'll have 3 more matches added onto the 0 hour. But we're here today to preview the matches that are and have been announced after yesterday and last night's AEW Dynamite. So let's go over those matches real quick, and then we will start previewing them for you. And let's talk about it first, as we got Mercedes Moné taking on Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. We got a celebration, as it's a champagne celebration with Mariah May and Mina Shakira. I said that way wrong. But we got that. We got a fatal four-way tag team match for the AEW Tag Team Championships, as it's the Acclaim. It's the Kings of the Black Throne. It's Private Party, and it's the Outrunners. We're going to find out who wins that. We got Will Ospreay taking on Kyle Fletcher. On the 0 hour, we got Big Boom AJ with Justice as he takes on QT Marshall. We got Jack Perry taking on Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. We got Hangman Adam Page taking on Jay White in a battle of two guys that just really dislike each other. MJF and Roddy Strong going at it. Another two people that just don't like each other after MJF is just done with all of the undisputed guys, Roddy, Kyle, and Adam Cole. And then we got Swerve Strickland taking on, making his AEW pay-per-view debut. It's Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, as the Hurt Business, however you want to say their name, whichever one you want to say. Bobby Lashley, Swerve Strickland going at it at Full Gear. And then in the main event, most likely, it's going to be for the AEW World Championship. It's Jon Moxley taking on the guy that has had his roots in AEW since day one-ish. It's Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed, and it's for the AEW World Championship. Now, before we get to them, before we start previewing all the matches, let's get to the chat. Let's use in the chat. We got Daniel in the house. What's up, Daniel? I appreciate you stopping by. If anybody's got any questions or anything that you want to ask me about the show, if you're curious what's going to be going down, if you're wondering, let me know. We'll talk about it here. But it does say there are 9 matches, but it says that we have 10, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we're going to go through all of them, and we're going to talk about it. So leave your comments, leave your concerns, leave all that stuff, and we'll talk about it after we go through all of these matches, because there are a lot of them, as usual, that we have when we have an AEW pay-per-view. And let's talk about the match that will be going down on the 0 hours. It's Big Boom AJ with Big Justice as they take on QT Marshall. As I said, this match will be on the 0 hour. So we will definitely have to wait and see how this goes and what it is like. But again, as I said earlier, we probably see about 2 to 3 more matches added to the 0 hour. Maybe, like I said, probably 4 matches total on the 0 hour. So I'm not going to say this match goes too long. But the way I saw Dynamite and the way it seems like it's going, I'm going to take Big Boom AJ with Big Justice to pick up the win. We got Mackenzie in the house. What's up, Mackenzie? Appreciate you stopping by. Now let's get to the matches that are on the main card. And let's start it off with Kyle Fletcher taking on Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay taking on Kyle Fletcher, guys that just want to rip each other's heads off. And it's just going to be a good fight against two guys that can put on a really good performance. But after it's all said and done, and again, I don't really know how long this match is going to go, because I feel like, this isn't like one of the bigger matches of the show. But I think it's going to be a good match either way. But in the end, I'm going to take Will Ospreay to win and defeat Kyle Fletcher. Now let's talk about this fatal four-way matches. I love multi-man, especially multi-man tag team matches, as it's Private Party taking on the Outrunners, taking on the Acclaim, and then they are taking on the King of the Black Throne, as it is for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And this is a match I think that we could very well see have and be in the beginning of the show, maybe like the 3rd or 4th match on the show. And I think either way, it's going to be good to see all these guys go out there and tear it down and show on and put on a performance of their own that we all know that they can go out there and do. And as we talk about always with the multi-person matches, it's always fun to go out there and see them do it. And I'm excited to see what crazy things that these 4 teams can do. But in the end, I'm going to say that the Private Party guys keep their AEW tag team titles and they walk out still champions. Private Party. And now, let's talk about the women's match first. Let's talk about the one and only Mercedes Moné. You can see her to the left of you. We see one Mercedes, we got the other Mercedes. And then she's taking on Kris Statlander for the TBS championship, as we've seen these women be and just not like each other since Mercedes debuted, and since Kris Statlander went out and she wanted to come after this TBS championship, and she's been fighting for it since she returned from her injury and everything else like that. Obviously, it's going to be a good match. I really love these two. I don't know about how you guys feel about these two, but all around, I think that they are going to go out there, put on a good match, put on a good performance. I'm sure we'll see some type of shenanigans with Mercedes muscle and, with something that Kris Statlander comes up with. But in the end, I'm going to say that she still is your TBS champion, and she is the CEO of AEW. It's Mercedes Moné. I'm sorry, Kris Statlander, but I just don't know how it's going to go for you, and I just don't think you're going to be able to get the dub. Now, let's talk about Jack Perry, the scapegoat, taking on Daniel Garcia. As I don't know about you guys, but if you saw Dynamite last night, the way that they did that promo and the way they did that video package was phenomenal with these two. I'm so excited for this match. And it includes a title, which, I'm excited to see where it goes and what happens with it. They're going to go out there and put on a really, really good match. Jack Perry, obviously, has been doing the best work of his career, I feel like, as of late with the scapegoat. With everything that he's been doing, he is the champion. But I'm going to be bold on this one, and I'm going to say Daniel Garcia walks out as your TNT champion, and we crown a new champion on and at Full Gear this Saturday. And I don't know, I just think this is one of those matches that we could possibly see a title change. I think, putting him in that chair, everything that they did yesterday on Dynamite was kind of crazy. And if you have not yet, definitely go watch it. But they've done a good they've definitely done a good thing of building this match up. And Daniel Garcia, I think this is his time to win a championship. So we're going to take Daniel Garcia to get the win. Now, let's talk about Hangman Adam Page and Jay White. For people like me that have been watching wrestling for a long time, that have known who these guys are and everything, I feel like this is a really big dream match, and this is a match that I'm excited to watch, and a match I just want to go out there and watch these two rip each other's heads off and tear the house down at Full Gear, because that's exactly what they're going to do. Again, we probably could see some shenanigans. I don't think it's going to be a clean fight, but what I do believe that it's going to be a really good match. And again, this could be a match that steals the show, and a match that we're talking about being one of the best matches of the night. And with all of that being said, I'm going to take the Switchblade himself, Mr. Jay White, to get the win and to walk out of Full Gear as your winner. Now, let's talk about a match that I feel like isn't going to be the best match of the night, and I'm sorry, MJF, but I feel like never mind. Never mind. Scratch that one. Never mind. MJF and Roderick Strong. I think it's going to be a very good match. Scratch what I was just talking about. Blah, blah, blah. But MJF and Roderick Strong, obviously MJF has had the problems with Adam Cole. He's having problems with Kyle O'Reilly. Everybody's having problems with MJF, as they've been doing since MJF has been in the AEW. And even when he was gone and everything else like that. But MJF and Roderick Strong are going to go out there and put on one hell of a performance. And it's going to be a really good match. Another match that I think could very well steal the show. And a match that I think a lot of people are very excited to see. And in the end, I'm going to say Roderick Strong loses. And I'm going to say MJF wins. I'm going to say we see Adam Cole come out. Some type of shenanigans as always. But I'm going to say MJF pulls it out. And he walks out of Full Gear as your winner. Now, let's get to another match, as before we get to the main event, we got one more thing to talk about after this, as it is Swerve Strickland taking on Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley making his AEW debut, pay-per-view debut, that is, as he will be taking on the one and only Swerve Strickland. We've been seeing these guys go at it on Dynamite. They've been tearing it down. Yesterday, Swerve went after him with the chain. Bobby got beat up outside of his limo. It was just not a good day for Bobby Lashley. But on Saturday, it might not be a very good day for Swerve Strickland, because I do not see Bobby Lashley losing his first pay-per-view match in AEW. It's weird to see Bobby Lashley in AEW, but as I always like to tell you guys, and I always like to say, I think it's a good thing that we see these people being able to go and do, because this is the Hurt Business, the Hurt Cynic, whatever they want to call themselves right now. I think that it's a great thing that they're doing, and it's cool that we're able to see this on a new show, on Dynamite, and everything else like that. So Bobby Lashley's going to get the wins. They're going to put on a great match, a great performance. I'm sure we're going to see MVP, Shelton Benjamin. Maybe we'll see Prince Nane. But I think that Swerve Strickland is going to lose, and Bobby Lashley gets the win in his AEW debut, pay-per-view debut, that is. Now, let's get to and let's talk about a little celebration. And I was going to talk about it a minute ago, but I figured let's talk about it now. And that is Mariah May and Mina, as we had a Champagne Championship celebration, as we have Mariah May, the champion, and it's time to celebrate. I don't know why, but you guys know how these celebrations go. Somebody's going to turn heel. They're going to fight. And this will probably be the pay-per-view match at the next pay-per-view for the Women's Championship. It will be Mina against Mariah May. Now, who's going to turn heel? I don't know why, but I think Mina might turn on Mariah. I'm going to say Mina does. I think we're going to be partying. We're going to be celebrating. But then Mina's going to come out and say, it's just not going to be a good time, and I think the champion's going to be laid out. But we'll have to see what happens, and maybe they'll celebrate, and maybe that's how the show ends, or that part of the show ends. But I think you guys know. Come on, let's be real here. How many celebrations have we watched? Or how many tribal meetings have we seen where people are turning heel and people are doing this and that? So I really don't know what exactly to expect from this, but I'm going to say that we do see somebody turn on somebody on Saturday. But finally, after talking about, let me make sure I've talked about all of the matches. Before we get to and before we talk about this main event, yes, we've talked about all of the matches, and now it is time to talk about the main event of the evening and AEW on Saturday Full Gear. It's Jon Moxley taking on freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Championship. As Jon Moxley is our champion, we've obviously seen what Jon Moxley has been able to do, but Orange Cassidy has been in AEW since day one-ish. He is an OG, and he wants to take back AEW from Jon Moxley and everybody that Jon Moxley is working with. Orange Cassidy's on a mission, and as much as I love Orange Cassidy, it's going to be a great match. They're going to tear it down. I just do not see Orange Cassidy walking out as your champion. Now, I could be wrong. I really could be. But they put the title on Jon Moxley for a reason, and I think Jon Moxley is going to keep the title. And either way, Jon Moxley is going to put on a good match with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy always knows what to do. And like I said, I do believe this will be the main event of the show. But again, things can change. We'll have to see what happens. We do have Collision on Saturday. I guess not, but because this is on Saturday. But we'll have to see what happens and see if anything is announced, because Tony Khan loves to announce more matches, which is fine. And I get it. You want to get everybody on the pay-per-view card. But sometimes, I think that, but I think this would be perfect. Let's just keep it that way. But I know I've said but like 50 times in this episode, but that's okay. But again, now that we went through all 10 matches that are going to go down on Saturday, let's get to the chat. Let's see if you guys get any comments, questions, concerns. If you got anything to talk about, we got Thursday Night Football tonight. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. If you want to talk about that, whatever you want to talk about, we'll stay here. But if there are no comments, I understand. I know this is a little bit earlier in the day and everything else like that. So if everybody is busy, I completely understand. But we got Isaac in the house. What's up? What's up, Isaac? Boom. AJ with Big Justice versus QT. 0 hour on Saturday afternoon. And Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. Fatal 4-way match. CEO with Chris, Jack Perry, and MJF. Roderick Strong and Delgado, I appreciate you. May versus Cheese Girl. Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. Well, thank you. Delgado. I appreciate you coming in here and even leaving a few comments. But it seems like those are all the comments that we have here for you. So I'm not going to keep you guys here too long today, as like I said, we are only going to be previewing the show. We will be here live Saturday, though, for this show. So make sure you come and hang out as we watch all these matches go down on an AEW Full Gear on Saturday. Come and hang out as we live stream the show. Tomorrow, you guys know what we'll be here for. It's head-to-head. We were at SmackDown last week. I cannot wait to show you guys what I got. Vlog will be out, not next week, the following week. Cannot wait to have you guys see my experience. But tomorrow night, it's the face-to-face between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. What is going to happen after what we saw last week? Bayley has moved on in the Triple Threat tournament to see who will become the new Women's U.S. Champion. It's Friday Night SmackDown, and you know what that means. Saturday, as I said, we'll be here live for Full Gear. Sunday, we will not be here live for football, but we'll be back next Sunday for more NFL games as we'll watch the NFL and we'll see what happens. But guys, that's all I got here for you today. So I appreciate you all stopping by. But until next time, remember to go follow all the social medias. Go check out the Main Event Network crew. Go check out the OTM guys. They will be live here in a few hours over on their YouTube channel. I think they're going live even 30 minutes earlier today. So definitely go and check them out. But also go check out the Southside Boys. Southside Boys got big news coming December 1st. Get excited about that. Go check out all the other social medias, all that stuff, the merchandise, the memberships, all of that. Get ready for some news on memberships in this upcoming week. So you got some news on that with what we'll be doing with that. So the people that are paying for the memberships are getting more, and because they are paying and everything else like that. But until then, hit that like button, subscribe on the road to 3K. And lastly, guys, turn that notification button on so you know when we go live next, which will be tomorrow night for Friday Night SmackDown. Guys, enjoy your Thursday. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. And I'll see you all tomorrow night as we'll be back here after Friday Night SmackDown. I can't speak. Have a good night, guys.